I've at this point watched all 13 Star Trek films. Prior to the last 2 years, I'd only actually seen one Star Trek film, specifically the 2009 version done by J.J. Abrams. Now I've seen all of them, and in this video, I'm going to talk specifically about Star Trek the Motion Picture, the first movie. It came out in 1979. Overall, I thought the movie was good, but not great. I thought that visually it looked good. I think the idea that the crew of the Enterprise goes out in space, finds something called VGear. They at first don't know what this is, but then realize it's a NASA probe that went forward in time, and then it went forward a lot in time, gained consciousness, sentience, something like that. And then one of the members of the Enterprise crew actually doesn't die necessarily, but evolves into a different being, stops being human, and becomes a being of energy. It's been a decent amount of time since I've seen this one, so I can't say I remember all the details of what exactly plays out here, but it's like that. The biggest thing holding this movie back, I will say, is it feels pretty slow paced for a Star Trek film. Let me put it this way, this feels more to me like 2001 A Space Odyssey rather than Star Trek. It feels more like cerebral art house sci-fi film rather than what Star Trek usually is. Not to say that I dislike this film, but it certainly feels pretty different from the other Star Trek films. I thought the music here was good. I thought the acting was good. Again, I thought it was interesting. Like, it's not that the story here is bad, I would say. It just feels somewhat out of place with the other movies. In fact, if you think about it, the other five films in the original Star Trek run, the first six movies that are about James T. Kirk and Spock, they don't actually reference anything that happens in this movie. And I don't think any of the TV shows have referenced this movie either, as far as I'm aware. So it feels odd. But overall, I like the movie, though it's certainly not my favorite out of the Star Trek films. I don't think it's great, but I definitely am glad that I watched it. It just feels slow, especially at the beginning, that long introduction to the Enterprise.